The Golden Knights are 3-0 on the early season. They've won all games by a final score of 4-1. We'll talk about their latest win over the Anaheim Ducks right here today on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you doing so. Find us wherever you get your podcast, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Locked On Golden Knights. Today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Download the Sleeper app today and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL to get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. VGK with another it's just so rigged. Another 4-1 win on Saturday night. They defeated the Anaheim Ducks. They're now 3-0 on the young season. The story in this win, Chris, over the Ducks, 3 points for Chandler Stevenson, who is always forgotten. He just flies under the radar.
He had 3 points.
He gets it done. Yeah, gets it done each
I had
and
no
every
idea.
night.
I had no idea he had 3 points in that game.
A goal and 2 assists.
No idea.
And Jackie Aces Eichel and Shea Theodore each had a goal and an assist, right? And Jonas Ronbjork pulled out an empty net goal. So for VGK, another day, another win, another 4-1 win. And in that game, I think things that really stood out as far as goal scoring, the Cotter assist on Stevenson's goal, phenomenal. And Eichel, the goal that was just unreal with a dangle and move and getting past 3 players with 1.3 seconds to go in the period, also outstanding for the VGK.
I'm going to start with the Anaheim side. All the things I think about before I'm getting ready to watch an Anaheim Ducks game is I don't think of a physical game. I don't think of a lot of hitting. I definitely don't think there's going to be a fight. And this is a different Ducks team. They're kind of mean. They're kind of fun to watch. Gudis was absolutely giving Dorofeev the business early in the game. Hit him pretty good from behind. Not penalty worthy, but definitely introduced himself. Of course, we saw the Carrick hit on McNabb that wound up being a major. And it's fun to see the Ducks have a little bit of bites. Like you said, the Eichel goal, just amazing. A little bit of a bounce, obviously, as he's doing the entry. He catches 3 Anaheim Duck players all flat-footed. And, once Eichel gets in that close, he knows exactly what to do. Stevenson with his best Nick Hague impression with a Theo bomb, as I called it up in the press box. That was kind of fun. And that 2-on-1 goal between Stevenson and Cotter. Before the play starts, the Ducks do a very strange line change.
Was it a line change? That's what I thought.
But it didn't make sense the way they did it. So Stevenson wins the faceoff. The puck somehow goes all the way to the Golden Knights blue line, from a reload basically after the faceoff win. How the Ducks don't have enough time to properly execute that line change, or to say it a little bit differently, why are they making the line change? That was just a very, very, very strange play. And I guess the last thing I want to point out while I'm thinking about it here, I don't have this. I'll have the score in front of me in a second, but the Ducks took it to
6-3.
Yeah, they took it to the Hurricanes last night.
Was it
on the back-to-back? Yeah, it was a high. I know it's what it was at one point. I know that was the final. So point being is, the Golden Knights handled the Ducks and everything. You don't expect much from the Ducks, but for the Ducks to bounce back on a back-to-back and take down a Stanley Cup. Stop talking, Tony. And to take down a Stanley Cup contender 6-3 in their barn, that says that this Ducks team might not be that bad. Also says this Golden Knights team might be that good. Now you can talk, Tony. Now you can talk.
Okay. And furthermore, Dallas comes in here, front end of guess what, folks? A back-to-back.
Front end.
It is the front end at least.
Where are they going? Are they going to Arizona next or LA?
I forgot. I don't know. But Maybe Anaheim. I think Anaheim after VGK.
Right.
VGK has done very well. We talked about this on a previous show. Extremely well on the penalty kill. They're now
Yeah.
9 for 9 on the PK. And we talked about this, Chris, and I think one of the areas that they've really improved is just clearing the puck, not fiddle-faddling around, not trying to overpass the puck, but just getting it out of the zone. And I think that is market improvement for the Vegas Golden Knights.
You definitely see it. It's not bad. Oh, wait, no. Stars, Tuesday. Looks like the Stars don't play until Thursday, Tony. I think you might have been wrong on this one.
Okay.
Looks like they don't got a back-to-back. I know you're assuming it's a back-to-back, but
yeah, that's
all
right.
right. So, yeah, I mean, the Ducks can get me going already. No, the Golden Knights, they're playing a really smart PK right now. Obviously, Adin Hill, Logan Thompson doing their job as being the best penalty killers. That was certainly on display with a couple real good saves by Adin Hill. One off a deflection just makes a great pad save. But yeah, they're just, like you said, they're clearing the puck. They're, instead of taking like the puck off the glass where a player could be, they're saying screw it and tossing it all the way down. They're getting a couple chances every now and then. I feel like they haven't had as many chances on the kill like last season early on. Obviously, part of that is the departure of Riley Smith, who him and William Karlsson were able to create a lot of odd man rushes, oddly as that seems, on a penalty kill. But yeah, they're playing smart, and we'll talk more later about players, returning and stuff like that. But it was a really good week for the Golden Knights. 3 4-1 victories, a lot of distractions, a lot of injuries, a suspension, so many things happening.
A soft schedule.
Sure, fine, whatever. Tony, I'm with you. I think the schedule is soft the whole season. Like, if you look at the schedule, it is a pretty soft schedule. Now, teams will blossom and come into their own. Maybe we'll, 20, 25 games in, we'll say, okay, this is a tough trip coming up because, some unexpected teams are doing well. But right now, at the eye test, this is not a bad Golden Knights schedule, folks.
And opponent coaches have just got to quit. They started really heavy in the playoffs with these stupid line changes, which just helps out the cause for VGK. You have to give the Golden Knights credit because once they see a line change, they know how to attack. I give them the utmost credit for the way that they play there when they see that they have an advantage there entering the zone, which is really good for the Vegas Golden Knights. I want to talk about Sam Carrick in this game. First of all, I had to switch from state-run television to visitors TV last night. No, because it was not an intentional hit. Okay, I just want to get that straight. I watched that replay a dozen times. I didn't think it was intentional.
I didn't think
that
go ahead.
on
Make
Brady
your point
McNabb,
that I got my perspective.
No, McNabb is going down, and the way that I saw it, and I watched that replay a bunch of times, the way that McNabb went down, and then Carrick, I thought was trying to brace himself seriously with his elbow to try to stop his fall. What did you see, Chris?
It's just such a weird spot. I'm with you. So that's the reason there was not a match penalty, because McNabb was going down. McNabb is definitely going down on the hit, and it's different. So, I mean, I think the first thing people are going to think of is the Eichel Tkachuk hit from the Stanley Cup final. I think that's the first thing people are going to see and be like, well, that was a clean hit. What's the difference on this one? And I got a quick play-by-play coming here. So Carrick is already targeting McNabb. There's no doubt about that. And then there is his elbow is up right there. His elbow is up. I don't believe Carrick is trying to make the head contact. I don't think he is trying to deliver a dangerous hit. But his elbow is still up there. His elbow is up.
It's okay to call a penalty for a hit to the head. Okay, great. But it's not. I didn't think it was intentional.
No, it wasn't intentional, but that's what
the narrative was.
Well, no, I don't. Okay, so we have to differentiate right now. People are still talking about Howden hitting Tanev from Seattle. It wasn't intentional. He shouldn't be suspended. Okay, fine, whatever. It was dangerous. Carrick is lining up to hit McNabb. His elbow is up in the air. Now, McNabb's head goes down. If McNabb is head level with Carrick, he's probably McNabb's probably a little bit taller than Carrick, to be completely honest. I don't think McNabb's head gets hit. You still have a hit where the principal contact is with the head. And the NHL is going to penalize that heavily all season long because they have to. That's just how it goes with head injuries and stuff like that. The saving grace for Carrick is that McNabb is going down. McNabb is going down, so that's why it wasn't a match. But I think the right penalty is called just based on the new rules of the NHL. And, of course, credit Kolesar. I said earlier, I think I tweeted out, I wonder if Kolesar is going to make Carrick answer the bell, and he did. And Carrick stood up, and they did their thing, and it was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, no, and I thought Kolesar won a fight for once. No, he won the fight. And he did have an assortment of body punches again.
Uh-huh.
He did go to the body a lot. He went downstairs,
upstairs. Given us Kolesar. I should have requested Kolesar for the post.
He's become a much better fighter. I have to admit that. And I think a lot of Reeves rubbed off on him, and I think he taught him some tricks too.
There you go.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about what Bruce Cassidy said as it pertains to goaltending and who will get a bulk of the starts, perhaps. We'll get to that when we return right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. The NHL season is finally here. Will the Vegas Golden Knights reign supreme again? Yes, they will win every single game by a final score of 4-1.
There you go.
We love the NHL, and we know that you do too, and that's why we want to tell you about Sleeper. Sleeper is the go-to platform for daily fantasy sports, especially daily fantasy hockey. With Sleeper, you have the chance to win 100 times your bet, and this is based on daily fantasy. And NHL has never been more exciting than it is right now. A lot of superstars, a lot of Jack Eichel, a lot of McDavid, a lot of Ovechkin, Crosby, and Makar, and many, many more. Simply select more or less based on their stats, such as goals, points, assists, saves, and much, much more. Yes, you heard us, VGK fans. Sleeper offers 100 times payouts. And so you need to start paying attention, make the right picks, and you could win very big. Entries can be made in less than 30 seconds. And currently, Sleeper's live in 28 plus states. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. We are back on Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your very first listen each and every day. Subscribe to the YouTube channel Locked On Golden Knights and find us on X at TDChrisG. That's him. I am at Tony Dasco, and we could be found at Locked On VGK on the Big X. So Bruce Cassidy, post-game the other day, talking about goaltending. And he said that, he's not going to stick to a certain formula, right? As far as when to play a goalie. Tell us his exact statement that he made about goaltending. And, oh, by the way, Adin Hill 6-0-1 against Anaheim lifetime, even with that team in Northern California.
Nice stat line there. So Cassidy was asked if this was going to be a true rotation, goalie A today, goalie B tomorrow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Cassidy didn't give a whole lot. What he did say is, yes, there is a plan for the goalies. There's a plan laid out. We heard this about this time last year, too, now that I think about it. He's not going to tell us the plan. Shocker there. But what he did say is it is not going to be a true 50-50 split. So that's an interesting statement right there. When I hear it's not going to be a true 50-50 split from the coach, I don't even think it's in his mind, at least right now, it's even close to a 60-40. I think they have identified a starting goalie, and I think the next couple of games will give us a glimpse of where Cassidy's head is, starting with Tuesday. If Adin Hill goes back-to-back games, that tells us right there in Cassidy's mind who's at least going to be carrying the mail a little bit early on. I still stick to my guns. I think Logan Thompson does end up with more starts at some point, whether it's injuries or outplaying or otherwise. We'll obviously see as the season progresses, but we're going to get a clue this week as to what this plan is that Cassidy doesn't want to tell us about.
So it's not the McCrimmel plan for once. So it's the Cassie plan. We'll have to see.
It's
In the game,
the Casa plan.
The Casa plan. Okay, so we saw Hill facing just 22 shots. Defense is doing very well in keeping shots on goal limited, and in turn, we see the VGK, doing well in net. And
There's only one goal that was really not a good goal that was given up. The other two were fluke bounces. Adin Hill's goal that he gave up on Saturday he gave up just a real bad rebound in a bad place that the defense couldn't clear out. I'm not saying it's a bad goal necessarily, but when we have to nitpick like this about the 3 goals the team gave up in 3 games, that says something about the defense and the goaltending right now.
Yeah, no, they've done a more than adequate job, and they both seem to be standing up. To me, Hill he appears to be more in rhythm than Logan Thompson. There were some shaky times, I thought, in LT start.
Well, I mean, LT, remember, he hadn't played a full game dating back to, I think it was January 23rd. His 2 games after that, unfortunately, he could not complete due to injury. So, Logan's been working his butt off all summer. He's been working his butt off in the captain skates. He's been working his butt off in practice. I was at a practice 2 weeks ago, and I thought he was injured. I thought Logan was honest to God injured, and he was just gassed because they were just torching both of the goalies, working them really hard on just basically a finishing drill and grade A chances. I mean, I couldn't imagine, 14-year-olds shooting on me from close proximity for 30 minutes, let alone NHL players, and me expected to give my all on every single shot attempt. Looking at the schedule this month, only one back-to-back, Tony. There you go. And it's actually it's a weird back-to-back. It's the Nevada Day game. So the Blackhawks will come to town, Connor Bedard, on Friday the 27th, if I'm seeing this correct. It's a matinee, 3 o'clock starts, and then they go to LA the following day for a 7 o'clock game. So they even get a longer break. They get a longer break between the games.
That's just so tough on the back-to-back for VGK. That's just so
I know
difficult.
It's tough. But trying to forecast the goalies beyond Tuesday. So let's assume Adin Hill is going to go on Tuesday. I think that's
Adin Hill will go. Adin Hill's number 1. I know you can't admit it, but he'll be
no. Right now, I think he is number 1. I agree he's number 1. I don't think it's going to finish like that. But right now, Cassidy is giving Adin the flowers of being the Stanley Cup winning goaltender. And he's earned that. Like, he has certainly earned that opportunity. But I will stick to my guns in the fact where if Adin didn't have the right camp, Logan would have played 2 games and Adin would have played 1 game. That's the type of coach that Cassidy is. He will take care of his veterans as long as they are putting in the work and seeing the results when it, in practice and such like that.
Chris, hold the horses, man.
What do?
Adin Hill is getting paid 5 times as much.
He was getting paid 3 times as much. It doesn't matter, lad. It doesn't
matter.
Matter.
Okay, my math is way off. Who cares?
Money doesn't matter. No. The season before was 3 times. This is 5 times now.
It is okay. So it is.
You're right. No, you're good. You're right.
For once. But
money doesn't matter.
No,
money doesn't matter.
It does matter. I think it has to matter. They're going to make him earn his keep. In a system in which Cassidy's like, you have to pay your dues. You have to okay. He's going to make sure, and Kelly McCrimmon will now make sure that the guy that they're paying more money has got to play more. It just makes all the sense in the world to me.
It's fair. I think McCrimmon views the goalies not as Adin making 4.9 and Logan making $785 or
$4.09.
Exactly. Whatever, 830, whatever the number is. I think he looks at it as both goalies are being paid a combined $5.8 million. And that's it. I think that's the main perspective. We'll see as the season goes. And honestly, the hand may get forced. Let's be real. Is there a world where both goalies are healthy the entire season and we can get a true measure of, I don't see that happening, but got the schedule in front of me. So Thursday, they go on the road to Winnipeg, Saturday on the road to Chicago. Next Tuesday, speaking of just terrible schedule, an 8 p.m. local start on a Tuesday night against the Philadelphia Flyers. 11 o'clock start time for people on the East Coast to watch their home team. I don't get that one bit. And then they got the back-to-back.
8 o'clock late for us. 8 o'clock is late for us here.
Yeah, no, we were all moaning and complaining up in the press box during the banner raising ceremony, and Bruce Cassidy's press conference starting at 11:15 or whatever the number was. So,
Whoa.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's tough life we got. Tough life.
No, it's not good. It's not good for the local fans either. But that's the price you pay for success.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the team won a Stanley Cup. We stayed up an hour later. Oh my God, life is so hard for the media. But I mean, there's no spots like it's just the schedule is very spaced out. I know you're going to complain about that again. So it'll be curious to see how Cassidy does manage the goalies. But if Adin goes tomorrow, Tuesday, then that definitely says Adin is at least probably in line for a 65-35 split early on. We'll see how the season progresses as far as how their talent goes and how well they play, and of course, injuries.
And coming up, great segue there, Mr. Golick. Coming up next, we will address the injuries with VGK, and we'll talk much, much more about this team and what's ahead this week when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. That's right. eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. For superchargers, for roof racks, for exhaust kits, LED headlights, and much, much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you are looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you are burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts that you need at the prices you want, it's easy to run your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available for U.S. customers. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights. We come to you from Las Vegas 5 days a week. Thank you so much for making us your first listen each and every day. On Fridays, we have WTF, What the Friday. The last Fridays was pretty good. Some really good chirps out there. So save them up, store them, and then make sure that you tweet them out to us on Fridays, Thursdays, Fridays, whenever, and we will save them. And we'll talk about them right
I had a good chirp of the day I put up. This was great. So picture a Ring camera, folks, like looking out. And then, porch pirates take the packages and stuff. So there's this person like literally wearing a construction cone completely over their head.
That was funny.
The cone is moving sideways and there's a package on the porch. The cone goes over the package and then walks away with the package. And the comments was Darnell Nurse every year stealing $9.5 million from the Edmonton Oilers. Live footage of Darnell Nurse taking $9.5 million from the Oilers. I thought Tremendous. That was just brilliant. Awesome. And true. And true.
Yeah. 0-2 Edmonton Oilers, right? Wow. Injuries.
Segment by itself.
Injuries. So Alex Pietrangelo was added to the injury list after he was hit in the face with the puck. Ouch. So do we have an update on Petro?
No, I mean, we'll see what happens. My concern with Petro isn't the stitches, however many stitches he got, however the repairs were. What if there's a concussion possibly? Again, this is total speculation.
No. It's the same thing. Anytime you get hit in the head like that, absolutely.
It was a weird spot. Like it wasn't straight on at the visor. It was basically like right like here, almost like halfway above the forehead, above the temple. So that's my initial concern about it. Or they just were taking it easy. Maybe they assumed they were playing the Ducks and it wouldn't be that bad of a game. So just let him heal up a little bit so he can get back ready for the Dallas game. Obviously, at today's practice, Cassidy will give somewhat of a cryptic update that gives us no clue about his possible return date.
Oh, speaking of Anaheim, too, I didn't know that John Gibson faced just 34 shots. 34. He had 34 saves, I should say.
I mean, they improved the defense. There you got to give them credit. They have over 1,000 games of.
He faced 38 shots a game last year.
Hey, that was lower than last year's average of 39.1, Tony.
William Carrier, what do we have on his status? He appears to be almost back. No, Him and Alec
mean,
Martinez, I think, should be back this week.
Just going down the list, we'll Carrier. He was not seen wearing a cast or anything. Like you saw the pictures going to the speedway and all that stuff. So that's a good thing there, I guess. We'll start there. The new line for the Golden Knights injuries, well, we're calling it day to day or week to week, and we'll go from there. That's a statement that just concerns me every time I hear it. Going down the list right now, Pietrangelo does not have a designation as far as day to day or week to week. I feel like we're going to see him Tuesday night, definitely this week at the latest, I hope. Will Carrier, we'll just kind of wait and see there. Hopefully it's a true day-to-day scenario where he does make it back. Let's call it by Thursday or Saturday as well. Not injury related, but we know Brett Howden will return to the lineup on Tuesday nights. And that's going to cause a little bit of a shuffle, I think. You have to assume that Howden's going to go back to his spot on the second line. Cotter's going to get pushed down to the third line. I think Dorofeev will draw out of the lineup, and Ronberg will stay in until Will Carrier comes back. Ronberg just has a more responsible defensive fourth line game that Dorofeev just does not have yet at this stage of his career. He'll probably never have it, to be honest. Alec Martinez, who knows? I mean, we've seen him in a sling. We've seen him take the sling off. We'll see exactly how that works out. And then finally, White Cloud, we're not going to see him for a long time.
Yeah. And again, that question that we heard from a lot of folks last week was how come Brendan Brisson was not called up ahead
He's not ready yet.
Of Ronberg.
Give him time.
Why is Ronberg more ready? Just curious.
Because he's played more games. He's had the call to the NHL games, and you keep hearing this. So I asked Stevenson about his synergy with Cotter on the line along with Mark Stone. He mentions the term the coach's trust about halfway through his description about what Cotter brings to, not just his line, but to the team. We've heard, I asked Cassidy a million times, and Cassidy's probably getting tired of me comparing Comtois and Dorofeev and Connor and Cotter, lumping them all together. And he mentions, well, the other two kind of have that coach's trust a little bit when comparing to Brisson. Basically, he's not saying he doesn't trust Brisson. He's just saying he didn't trust Brisson. So I think that's what a lot of this comes down to. And just give Brisson time. The Golden Knights, even with their current injury situation, they don't need to rush this. Ryan Wallace talked about this on the postgame. A lot of people are calling in and simply saying, hey, why are we not seeing Brisson yet? There's injuries. This should be Brisson's time. Well, you look at his skill set. You look where he matches up, he being Brisson. He's a top six forward, okay? He's a top six forward. Are you going to play Brisson over Paul Cotter? No. Are you going to play Brisson on the third line over Pavel Dorofeev? No. He's definitely not going to be a fourth line player. So Brisson's time is going to come. He doesn't need to be rushed right now. And who knows? Brisson could be the savior of the regular season like Pavel Dorofeev was last season, getting 9 points in 18 games down the stretch. Who knows?
So you had, what were your questions to Cassidy? Did you ask the question about the alignment between VGK and Henderson?
I'm glad you brought that up. So this was a great exchange. So to go to the end of that, yes, I asked about, basically the question was framed as, we've had an early look at, a lot of players from Henderson, and then what's the synergy with Ryan Craig down there? How's everything working out? And the best part at the end, Nate, the media, the director who kind of directs traffic in the press conferences and stuff, after Bruce answers the question, Nate says, Henderson Silver Knights 2-0, by the way. Cassidy drops right in, yeah, we're 3-0. And just, it was absolutely a priceless exchange right there. So Cassidy and Ryan Craig, you can tell they got some playful, maybe they got a six-pack on the line for who gets a better point percentage. But Cassidy did start by crediting Manny Vivros, which I thought was nice. I wasn't trying to get Cassidy to say how much better it was this season. I didn't want to frame it like that, but I did want to frame it as, hey, you got your boy behind the bench right now, someone who was alongside of you. How does that work out now? And Cassidy, he was very humble about it. He didn't want to blast the work of Manny Vivros, which he wasn't going to, but it's just better with Ryan Craig down there. It's better with Joel Ward up with the Golden Knights right now. So now Cassidy really is going to get a taste of how these players are doing down there. And I feel like there's going to be a better pulse on the team.
Mhm.
You're going to know which players are ready to make that jump and who is handling the system. And again, to remind everyone, the Silver Knights are 2-0. Their home opener is going to be Friday night. Dollar Loan Center should be a good time. And if the team's a little more competitive this year, it'll be nice to see some crowds coming down to Green Valley Ranch cheering them on. And they've been fighting. It was fight weekend in Iowa against the Iowa Wild, man. There was a lot of videos, some great fights, a lot of penalty minutes. One of the games had 50 penalty minutes before the third period started. The Silver Knights put up a big number. I think they won 7-3 or 8-3 on Saturday, and they won Friday as well. So, hey, good start. Hockey in Vegas is perfect right now. Perfect hockey in Southern Nevada.
Okay, one more question. Caden Korzak, how did his grades shake out?
He's fine. He's not standing out. He had a couple shots on goal, or at least a couple. Speaking of shots on goal, Jack Eichel, 8 shots on goal in that game. He is shooting at everything.
Had 6. Yeah, good. He listened to me. Finally, it's about time. Jackie.
He's listening to Cassidy, who gets his memos from Tony. So yeah,
he gets that left circle shot, unstoppable. Just keep shooting. That's it.
Yeah, no, he's a good sniper, and he gets in space. Korzak is fine. He passes the eye test. He doesn't dazzle. He doesn't stand out. He doesn't do anything that's going to make you talking about him. He wasn't on my napkin of notes to talk about today, but he's fine. He's fine. He does a good job filling a role. And again, for a team that everyone dogs and an organization that everyone dogs about, there's no prospects. Their prospect pool is terrible. There's going to be such a terrible rebuild. Well, it's game 3 of the regular season. The Golden Knights were down 5 regulars and handled an Anaheim Ducks team who just went and beat the pants off of a Stanley Cup contender the following nights. This says something, guys. This says something.
Coming up at tomorrow's show, we'll have a preview of VGK versus Peter DeBoer, and the Dallas the Dallas Stars. We'll have that tomorrow. Don't forget
Jamie Benn. Let's go. Bring back Jamie Benn. That's going to be fun. Jamie Benn gets a ring tomorrow. Did you know that? For his part in the...
He was a part of helping VGK to the title. Very good. Very good. Of course, Fridays are what the Friday day right here. We thank our everydayers. We appreciate all of you. And for my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.